Welcome to another video by Jan's Views for You. Today it's going to be a little different, and it's going to be covering a subject that I've covered years ago. A couple of years ago, I think I started talking about this, and that was blackface. So yeah, if you're not interested in that, laters. Anyway, if you are, I just want to just make a short video about the absolute what's the word, ignorance, the absolute ignorance of some people that have a platform on this here YouTube. It's astounding to me. Honestly, I'm actually, I can talk for England, but sometimes I'm just almost left speechless. So anyway, I thought, Jan, just do a short video on it. I even thought about going live, but I don't know how my mic's going to perform. So I thought, no, just do a video on it. So here it is. Now, we're going to talk about blackface. And one of the reasons we're going to talk about it is because I have seen evidence of two people specifically rowing, arguing, screaming at each other, insulting each other because of what one person perceives to be blackface. Now, what's interesting also is that one of them happens to have the same ancestry as myself, which is Jamaican. I never thought, actually there are a few Jamaicans in this corner of the internet. Hey, so yeah, I'm what's known as British Jamaican, or Jamaican British, or mixed race, whatever. So anyway, I have quite a lot to say about the Jamaicans and about my ancestors, and that's one of the reasons I know quite a lot about Black history. Now, I don't know a lot about Black American history because I know it's very different, but I do have some Black American friends, online friends, who have taught me a little bit about it. They've also taught me that it's not a good idea to sort of talk too much on it because I'm not Black American. Okay, does that mean I can never write, like if I was studying something, I could never write a thesis on something because I hadn't gone through what those people have gone through? I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, that's another argument. So we're going to make this, keep this quite plain because I'm tired. I need to go off and make myself a nice cup of tea. And, but anyway, let's get on with this. So I've written this up, which is trying to explain the difference between Black Americans and Jamaicans. Okay, now, Black American, and the reason I'm saying this is because somebody, I've heard more than one person say that Jamaicans are not black. Hello? Hello? Right, Jamaicans are a mix of European, Chinese, Indian, German. We've got a big mix because Jamaica was colonized, okay? It was taken over by Europeans. That's a major difference between Jamaicans and Black Americans. Now, Black Americans will say, yeah, well, we're all black, we go back that, hundreds of years, and we're still in America. Yeah, but we all came from the same place. And that's what I think. This is what, I mean, I laugh, it's just, yeah. I just cannot understand that Black Americans do not realise that all black people come from Africa. So you're arguing with Jamaicans, right, and saying, no, you're not black. You're not black. You're Jamaican. No. Both are black. Both people, both groups of people are black. Jesus. Anyway, so I'm going to read this quickly. Black Americans and Jamaicans, while both of African descent, okay, have distinct cultural identities shaped by different historical and social contexts. Which is another reason why I don't speak on Black American history, because I do not know everything about the contexts and the different historical things African Americans are were involved with. And I know that, one of the things I do know is that with the Americans, with the Black Americans, they had to fight like a civil war, or for equality. They're still trying to get the equality, which, surprise, surprise, so are us Jamaicans. Okay? We still had that same fight. But just because it's in America doesn't mean you're more black or you're more this or you're more that. Why can't we just accept that we all come from the same bloody place? It's insane. I can track my family back 200 years. 200 years ago, my family were in Jamaica. Before that, they were in Western Africa. The same as a lot of the Americans. But anyway, I'm going off track. So anyway, here we go. So Black Americans primarily descend from enslaved Africans brought to the United States and have developed a unique culture within the American social landscape. Jamaicans, on the other hand, are descendants of Africans. Same. Notice it's the same. Brought to Jamaica during the transatlantic slave trade and have a distinct culture shaped by their island experience and interactions with European colonizers, which is exactly what I've just said. The other thing I will just put in here, that they're saying that Jamaicans, on the other hand, are descendants of Africans brought to Jamaica. Yes. Now, to a certain degree, that is very true. Yes, that is true. But the indigenous Jamaicans were black. And they were the people that primarily, when the colonizers came onto their island, they moved into the mountains to escape. And they stayed up in the mountains. They are the indigenous Jamaican people who are black. So it doesn't really say that in that bit there, but I think they should. Anyway, so let's move on to here that says Jamaicans. They were also enslaved and experienced colonization, yes, but their history is unique to the island of Jamaica with a later abolition of slavery and a distinct path to independence. Yeah, we had to get independence from Britain. Americans may not have had to do that, but it doesn't mean that they're more black than Jamaicans. It's just ridiculous, guys. I'm sick of it. So anyway, Black Americans, their history is deeply intertwined with the experience of slavery, Jim Crow laws, and the ongoing struggle for civil rights in the United States. So yes, that's the big difference, okay, between Jamaicans and Black Americans, okay? Or African Americans, whatever you want to call them. That is the major difference. We've all done, whether we come from the islands or not, or whether your family in the last, 100 years have been in Louisiana or something, doesn't mean you're more black than us. So just stop it. Right, so after that rant, I want to just have a quick look at Blackface, okay? Let's have a look. Okay, once and for all, Yato, please pay attention, all right? God's sake. Right, Blackface, okay. Blackface is the practice of performers using burned cork, shoe polish, or theatrical makeup to portray a caricature of black people on stage or in entertainment. That's where it came from. It came from the theatre. And it still goes on in certain places. There's places in Holland where they still celebrate characters where they use blackface. So this man saying, "Oh no, a blackface he just came from America, and you can't talk about it because you're Jamaican." Shut up! Just shut up and learn. For God's sake, I can't believe people are so bloody ignorant. So anyway, calm down. Right, scholarship on the origins or definition of blackface vary, with some taking a global perspective that includes European culture and Western colonisation. Blackface became a global phenomenon as an outgrown... Oh, they haven't written that well, have they? As an outgrown of theatrical practices or of racial impersonation, popular throughout Britain. Throughout Britain. And its colonial empire, where it was integral to the development of imperial racial politics. So please tell me where that says that blackface, I can't talk about blackface, or this other person can't talk about blackface because blackface is an American phenomenon. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. You are wrong. That's why I get annoyed. Okay. Still others date the practice to English Renaissance theatre in works such as William Shakespeare's Othello and Anne of Denmark's personal performance in the Mask of Blackness. However, some scholars see blackface as a specific practice limited to American culture that began in the minstrel show. Now here, this is where this American guy is obviously, he just read this bit. Okay, he's just read that bit about the minstrel show. Okay, yes, there was a minstrel show in the early 19th century, which contained its own performance practices unique to the American stage. But that isn't where blackface originated from. You could say that the Americans stole the idea from the Brits or from the Europeans because they did it first. Okay. Alright, okay. Then we go on to the early history. There is no consensus about a single moment that constitutes the origin of blackface. It is a common practice it was common practice in medieval Europe to use bitumen or bitumen and soot from coal to darken skin to depict corrupted souls, demons and devils in blackface. So yeah, it's not just a caricature of, or, a minstrel dancing away to all like this music. No, it wasn't just used for that. So I would suggest that people who speak out and insult other people because of their heritage and say that, oh, well, we're American, so we can only talk about it. No. You're wrong. Do your homework, read up on it, and yeah, then Jan will be very, very happy. All right. That's it. Getting out of here now. So sorry. Didn't mean to sort of sound off like that, but it's just so annoying, guys. Anyway, I hope you're all right. And let's have some good old Jamaican music, shall we? Yeah. Take care of yourselves. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye for now.
senses